Hey guys, this is OddOneGaming. This is going to be another Dragonheir SilentGods video. In today's video, I want to talk about a few rares that are actually pretty weird, pretty unique when it comes to this game. And the reason why I'm doing something like this again is because there was more time for me to play with other heroes in the game. There were some other players in the community that have tested some different stuff. And, you know, this might not necessarily be new news, but I wanted to have a list of, of these heroes to be like all together and explain why. So what I'm talking about is what are, from my point of view, like the 5 rares that can actually be better, if not close to legendaries, because of the uniqueness of their kit. Okay, so let's start this off by looking through the rares and saying which ones are those. I guess I'm gonna start with maybe one of the most obvious ones in the game, and that is going to be, let me see where she is, Cigaret. Well, the reason why I want to start with Cigaret is because, well, if you have seen most of my videos where I'm trying to do relatable guides and themes where I'm using the Adventurer, I'm using Horus, etc., most of the free-to-play heroes, I'm always throwing Cigaret in there because, well, she's a good replacement for any other similar rare or epic that you can bring. But what makes her so unique from my point of view is the fact that not only can she do a ton of damage with his ultimate and bring a attack penalty, but this one can be AoE if you have an if you have an AoE debuffer alongside her. So maybe you have somebody like Rash that does a full board attack with debuffs, or somebody else like that, then she can do crazy damage with this AoE. Then on the passive she gains obviously ultimate energy every time somebody under a debuff dies. Well, it's not just that, but it's the fact that, well, like I said, what makes her so unique, I think she's the best hero in the game when it comes to healing prohibition. The reason for it is she has it on her battle skill and she has it on her ultimate. Okay, so not only does she bring good damage, decrease attack, all the good stuff from her kit, plus an accuracy aura, she is the best in the game at heal prohibition. Like, correct me if I'm wrong, maybe I missed somebody. If I did miss somebody, leave it in the comments below, guys, so maybe this can help some other people out. But she's definitely the best at healing prohibition. Having it on a battle skill for 5 seconds, then on ultimate for 10 seconds makes her amazing for this role specifically. So that's why Cigaret is the first one that I wanted to talk about. Now, if I move over to the second one, well, the second one is gonna be somebody that I have not played with a lot myself, but I've seen his kit, and I think Stu Gaming has done some videos on him, and that is Grover. Well, Grover is really amazing when you need somebody that manipulates buffs and when you want to manipulate some ultimate energy. So first, let's look at his aura. Again, accuracy aura in all battles by 30, that's not so bad. Then on the passive, he brings himself some survivability. He gains invisibility if his HP falls below 35%. It can only take effect every 5 seconds, but still, that's a lot. Every 5 seconds, goes on for 10 seconds, so he's gonna be able to keep himself alive a little bit if he falls under that one. But if you look at his battle skill, he hits twice with a 15% chance of stealing ultimate. It's not a massive chance, it goes to 30%, but still, it's a battle skill. He's gonna come back to it pretty often, so he might keep stealing the ultimate energy, and if he does that, guess what? He's gonna get more turns and more turns and more turns. So this one might not be perfect, it might not be ideal, but let's check his ultimate. Flashes to the enemy and launches 2 attacks again, with each of them stealing a random buff from them each time. So basically, he's always gonna steal 2 buffs. Look at the recharge time, it's 16 seconds. He's gonna come back to this so often that he's just gonna, the grave of curse is just gonna be a joke for him. Grover's just gonna keep stealing his buffs. Even for ancient battlefield he could be useful, but the problem for ancient battlefield when it comes to him is the fact that, well, if he steals them, the boss will remove them once he gets to that point of removal, and that might not be ideal. So he's not the best for ancient battlefield, but Grave of Curse can be good. He can even maybe do this for the Heretical Ruins or any other area where they have buffs. He's just amazing. Like I said, such a small recharge time and such a good ultimate that he definitely deserves to be on this top 5. Now, if we move over to the next one, let's talk about the good old Fetz. Okay, one of the simplest but most unique kits fits in the game. Fits is so unique again, and what I think that puts him as, you know, rating to being somebody that's at least epic, if not legendary level, is his ultimate, okay? So what he does is he gives himself a healing and then transfers all, not some, all debuffs from all allies to this hero. So it's kind of basically like a full board team cleanse. So you don't even need to be in a certain area. He does from the full board. So if you think about the grave of what's it called, the grave of rot, well, you get a ton of debuffs there. He goes in, he absorbs everything on himself, then on his passive, he cleanses one of those debuffs and gives himself defense up. But not only that, on the passive, he also takes less damage the more debuffs he has. So this is crazy. Less damage, then from the battle skill, cleansing one debuff, just have a Hex Changer with him, and he's just gonna keep being cleansed. And this is definitely unique. I cannot think of like maybe I'm wrong again, but I cannot think of an epic that actually does a full board cleanse, okay? Not only just, you know, the certain areas, but full board. I know VCook dispels 2 debuffs on full board. He does everything. So that's why definitely fits, from my point of view, deserves to be in the top 5 because one of the most unique rares in the game. Now if we move over to somebody else, which again is pretty straightforward, but the potential is insane, and that is Usha. Why do I say that Usha is, like, you know, better than legendary, or can be better than legendary? Well, it's all because of her ultimate, first of all. So this one slashes forcefully twice, dealing 800% attack in that range, okay? That one's twice, that's 800% attack in that range. That's good enough as it starts. But wait, there's more. That's for enemies with 100% chance of inflicting frost, okay? This skill deals double damage to enemies inflicted with frost. So she does 1600, you heard that right, 1600 damage in that area. So she can just destroy whoever's in that area if there is frost out there. Like, for example, somebody that I'm using, Filto, that needs to have rally when he does his ultimate. He does like something like this, but like straight line, he does 1800, and he's a legendary, and he needs to have, like I said, the rally up. But if he does not have rally, he only does 600% of his attack, okay? So think about that. He does 600% without rally, she does 800%. So that's why Usha is definitely one of those amazing ones. She also gives herself a shield based off of her attack on the battle skill plus increased attack, which, guess what, this one pairs really well with her passive, because every second basic attack she will do double damage to enemies under frost. And like I said, pair this with attack speed up and her fast attack interval, she can just be a monster of a DPS and can compete with most legendaries. Now, when we're going to talk about the last one is a bit of a unique one again, because if I'm not mistaken, he's the only one apart from legendaries in the game that has a legendary aura, okay? And that is Tio. Well, what I'm talking about is he brings an ally attack increase in all battles by 30%. This is a legendary level aura. I don't think there's any epic. Again, correct me if I'm wrong, leave it in the comments below. Maybe I'm forgetting someone, but I don't think there's an epic that brings 30. I know there's people that do 24, like Yola and some other heroes like that, but not 30. So he's just amazing for that. But it's not only that, he has some amazing damage potential, especially if you have some summoners alongside. He can do insane damage with his ultimate, because the more corpses are out, the more damage he does, plus it's a pretty massive area. Then he does some crazy damage on the battle. He can do some good damage on the battle skill as well, plus keep summoning corpses, and then a passive that he's gonna keep summoning corpses. So he's definitely one that's pretty unique, and like I said, he can compete with some of the legendaries in the game. But yeah, I guess this is gonna be it for the video today, guys. I just wanted to say, like I mentioned, I wanted to say from my point of view, mention these 5 ones that are definitely, if not all of them, at least some of these ones are 100% worth building on every single account, because they can compete with most legendaries in the game. They're not going to be better than all of them, but, or, you know, all the time, but they can definitely compete with quite a few of those legendaries. If there is somebody that I did not put on my list that, like I said, is a unique rare that you barely find that type of kit in epics and legendaries, then leave it in the comments below to, you know, share the information for more people out there. But yeah, anyway, this is gonna be it for the video today, guys. I hope you enjoyed it, and if you did, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel to see when I upload next, and I'm gonna see you on the next one. Peace, love, take care, everyone. Bye, guys.